quality management, continuous improvement, and quality tools. Continuous improvement is a CI is a management philosophy that approaches the challenge of products and process improvement as never-ending process of achieving two small wins. Step towards CI. Train employees in the methods of statistical process control, SPC, and other tools, and make SPC method is a normal aspect of operation. Build teams and encourage employee involvement. Utilize problem-solving tools within the work teams. Develop a sense of operation ownership in the process. It is an integral part of quality management system. Continuous improvement seek continual improvement of machinery, materials, labor, utilization, and production methods through application of suggestion and ideas of the team members. Through pioneered by U.S. firm, this philosophy has become the cornerstone of Japan approach to operation. Although the management in both Japan and the West historically have implemented CI, continuous improvement in manufacturing plants, it has become quite common in service as well. So, in order to attain continuous improvement, an organization must make use of SPC or statistical process control, which will be explained further by the next reporter, as well as the different problem-solving tools. Tools and procedure of CI. 1. Various from simple suggestion system based on brainstorming. Manufacture program utilize the statistical process control tools, SPC tools. Number 2. Naming wheel, PDAC cycle. 0 defect concept, benchmarking, Six Sigma, KAIZEN. SPC tools, also known as the tools of PQC, cheat sheet, process flow chart, Pareto analysis, histogram, scatter diagram, causes and effect diagram, fishbone and Ishikawa diagram, control chart. The Deming cycle of or PDCA cycle. Plan, do, study, and act. Plan a change to the process, predict the effect. This change will have a plan how the effect will be measured. Do, implemented the change on the small cycle or measure the effects. Study the result to learn what effect the change have, any. Act, adapt the change as a permanent modification to the process or abandon it. First, we have to plan. What is the change? What is your unsa imong change gusto mausab in the current method imo giuse sa imong plan. You have to plan, do. If you want to plan, do brainstorming with your team to come up with an effective plan, which you will be implemented or na-forecast na ninyo unsay maayong effect sa establishment. Next, do. After planning, try to implement those change and monitor their effects, and study. You must observe and take note of the result and see if naabay effects that you implemented. Lastly, act. If you see nga maayo ba ang imong i-implemented, turns to change into permanent or eliminate the old methods. PDCA cycle, 7 step of process. identify the opportunity, analyze the current process, develop the optimal solution, implement change, study the result, standardize the solution, plan for the future. 7. Problem-solving tools: Pareto analysis, flowchart checklist, histogram, scatter diagram, control chart, cause and effect diagram. Pareto analysis, the number of cause defects percentage. And there are causes to numbers of defects and percentage cause for design, and the numbers of defects is 80 with a percentage of 60. And the wrong parts dimension 13, defective parts is 12, incorrect machine calibration is 7, operation errors 4, defective materials 3, surface abrasion 3. So total 125 over 100%. And the chart on the left side is a percent from each cause, then the vertical bar graphs which present the cause of poor quality and decreasing manner or order from the highest number of defects to the lowest number. Poor design 64, wrong dimension 13, defective parts 10, machine calibration 6, operation error 3, defective materials 2, and surface abrasion 2. And this is the causes of poor quality on the Pareto chart.
So next we have flowcharts. Flowcharts are nothing but graphical representation of steps involved in a process. Flowcharts give in detail the sequence involved in material, machine, and operation that are involved in the completion of the process. Thus, they are the excellent means of documenting the steps that are carried out in a process. So flowchart means steps of what you will do inside the company premises. Then we have check sheet. Check sheets are nothing but forms that can be used to systematically collect data. Check sheet gives the user a place to start and provides the steps to be followed in. So check sheet is for collecting data. It is where you what do you call that? Diha nimo makita kung asa ka dapat magsugod sa imong pag-collect sa data, then to be followed sa dapat. So check sheet uses and steps. So for the uses, it is used to gather data, to test a theory, to evaluate alternate solutions, then lastly to verify that whatever improvement process you implement. And for the steps, so the team agrees on what to observe, then mag-decided sila kung kinsa mo collect sa data, decide time period for collecting data, then design the check sheet, then collect data na sad, then i-compile din ilang data sa check sheet, then lastly review the check sheet. And for the histograms help in understanding the variation of the process. They also help in estimating the process capability. So as you can see in the chart, histogram is a graphical display of data using bars of different heights. So, it is similar to a bar chart, but a histogram groups numbers into ranges. Then we have scatter diagram. It is a graph of points plotted. This graph is helpful in comparing two variables. Distribution of the points helps in identifying the cause and effect relation between two variables. Then for the scatter diagram, a scatter diagram, also known as scatter plot, scatter graph, and correlation chart, is a tool for analyzing relationships between two variables for determining how closely the two variables are related. So one variable is plotted on the horizontal axis and the other is plotted on the vertical axis. Then the pattern of their intersecting points can graphically show relationship patterns. We have control chart. A control chart is nothing but a run chart with limits. This is helpful in finding the amount and nature of variation in the process. And for the process control chart or the control charts are what Wheeler calls process behavior charts, are graphs or charts that plot out process data or management data or its output in a time-ordered sequence. It is a specialized run chart. They typically include a center line, a 3 sigma upper control limit, and a 3 sigma lower control limit. There might be a 1 or 2 sigma limits drawn in a wheel. The center line represents the process mean or average, and sometimes the median. Then, histograms do not take into account changes over time. Then, control charts can tell us when process changes. So that's all.
Right. So as the continuation about the this topic, so we will continue about the cause and effect of the diagram. So this actually developed by Dr. Kaoru Ishikawa in 1943. So it is also known as by the name Ishikawa diagram or fishbone diagram. So this diagram is very helpful in representing in the relationship between the cause and a potential or possible causes that influences it. So this is a very much helpful when you want to uh, find out the solution to a particular problem. So that could be the number of causes or for it, and when we are interested to finding the root of or the out the root for this cause. So it is very important to know that where this problem came from or why this problem kanang nisud in this ending a company. So it is a very important to as a business a business um, yes, as a businessman we need to or as an organization we need to know or to find out what's the main reason for this problem. So the next one we have here. Um, so the cause and effect diagram is an investigative tool. So this is also part of like yes, an investigative tool. This is also called Ishikawa diagram. Because of its shape, the diagram is also termed as fishbone diagram. And there is a systematic arrangement of all possible causes, which will give rise to the effect in Ishikawa diagram. So before taking the problem for a detailed study, it is necessary to list down all possible causes through uh, brainstorming session so that no important cost will be missed. So the costs are then divided into major sources or a variable rather. So it is very important to list down all uh, types of problems, so that you have your guide actually, or you have your basis. This is actually the diagram for Ishikawa. So as you can see here, that is look like a fish showing here. So this is actually the effect. So we have here methods, machinery, management, materials, and manpower. So there is a category or different areas which are like methods. So you're going to determine what are the causes, or what are the cause of the problem, and what's the reason why nga nung nisud sa dira. We have here the machineries like management, materials, and manpower. And also, we have here the cause and effect diagram. So we have here a quality problem. So in the quality problem, we have here the um, also areas like measurement, human, machines, process, materials, and environment. So it is very important to know about on your company. You need to know about the quality of each problem. So in machineries, you have the to identify like old out of adjustment, tooling problems, old worn. So it is very important because it affects actually to the company, or it is very important to know that if kanang imong machines daan na ba siya or bago need na ba siya ilisan. Based on my sa akong nabalaan, no, every 5 years we need to change yun sa mga machines. So, like that. So, if kinahanglan na ba siya ilisan, kung nadaan na ba siya, kay it will affect actually for the production as well. And for the human, we have here for supervision. So, in terms of for supervision, like siguro ang mga workers wala na tarog atiman, siguro based among research na nga na buhat kay murag ipasagdaan ra mga trabaho as long as they are working, inana. So we need, or they need also a supervision. And also nasad mga tanang nasa uban nga trabahante nga kanang work ra sila og walay og naigatan-aw niya. Di pa sila mo work og walay nagtanaw. So they need actually the supervision. But actually that's not good practice. So we need to kanang natay action buhaton na nganong dapat dili sila mag-inana. So next one is the measurement. So faulty testing equipment, incorrect specification, improper methods. And also that's actually for the measurement. The next one is the environment. So for the environment, we have here inaccurate temperature control, like murag dili init siguro kay basta dili ang mga trabante dili na kay sila kanang magtarong-trabaho tungod sa temperature, like hugaw sa ng palibot, and mo na siya need po siya og maintenance. The next one, we have here the materials. And materials also includes defective from vendor, not to specification material. I'm sorry, it's material handling rather. So in terms of material handling, how they handle the material in every kung kinahanglan nila gamiton, how they use it very well, kung ilaban ni kapasipadan. Of course, mo apekto sa siya sa business kay kung maguba ang mga materials, so needs po siya nga ilisan. And of course, losses po siya sa company. Okay, so the next one here, we have the process. So in terms of process, we have here process, poor process design and effective quality management, and deficiencies in production design. So kung ang pag-process po sa kung company nimo kay bati sad ang mag-process, dili siya kanang mura hanay nga pagka-process to bati sad ang result. So kinahanglan gid siya nga dapat ang process nindot sad siya nga pagka yes, mo na siya hanay. Innovation, we have here the quality circles. So in quality circles, we have here the organizations, training, problems identification, problems analysis, solutions, and presentation. So let's start with the organization. In organization, we have here 8 to 10 members. So 8 to 10 members, same area, we have the supervisor. So actually, supervisor is the one who supervise those workers. Yes, they need to guide these sa mga trabahante. So it's very important. Training. So in terms of training, we need also to have a conduct training also sa mga trabahante para daghan pa silang ma-learn on how they work in the daily basis. The next one is a problem identification. Now, needed to identify the problem. It's what is the main cause for this problem, when, where, and how it kanang nisulod aning organization rather, or aning business. The next one is problem analysis. So in problem analysis here, so we have here cause and effect data collection and analysis. So we have to analyze the problem, why this problem happened to the company. Next one is the solution. So from its solution itself, when in terms of problem, you need to have the solution. Not ang diha lang nakutob ang problem, of course, mapiktaran ansad ang company kung magsigir kag operate sa company and then sigir sulod ang problem walay solution. So need sa natin na adunay solution para ang company mo run sa ilang in a long run. Yes, and how many years it will take basta maay lang pagka-manage. That's a very important thing. The next one here is presentation or the presentation. So after the making a solution or getting a solution about the problem, so you need to have the implementation monitoring. So after that, so you need to start or implement what is or kanang unsa yung solution sa problem, and then para nga nga ma-check kung niyat magid sa kung na-implementation para makita ninyo nga ni-work ang inyong katong pag-sitting down, pag-list down sa all the problems. This is the concept of the KAIZEN. So EMI or IMAI has brought together virus management theories, philosophies, and tools that have been popular in Japan over the years as a single concept of KAIZEN. And there are many quality experts whose principles form the basis of the KAIZEN concept. So also all kanang daghan pa mga expert na gamit usab of KAIZEN nga kan concept. KAIZEN means continuous improvement involving everybody. So very important di ay nga KAIZEN i-apply siya sa usa ka organization para nga ang tanan ma-involve gid siya sa kanang kung unsa gibuhat sa company dili lang sila kay work kundi ang tanan i-involve gid siya sa mga trabahon di kanang yes basta mo na. Alright. So the next one here is the term KAIZEN originates from Japan words kai, or it means change, whereas Zen means for the better. Therefore, it means change for the better. So it signifies constant and gradually improvement, no matter how small it is, and it should be taking place all the time, every process. So dapat gid siya nga every process dapat gid siya murag maapil gid siya sa tanan pa. So every kanang sa iyong gibuhat i-includes gid siya, involving everyone from all the ranks of management and the workplace. So it is very important nga it involves everyone, walay gipili. So ma-high rank man ka or ma-lower rank ba ka, so dapat i-involve gid siya. So this are also the following in brief. KAIZEN system includes total employee involvements starting from top to top management. So of course must start yun sa babaw down to boss kay let's say sa boss din to sa babaw. So they follow manggid sa mga leaders nga kinsay na sa top. Employees empowering people. So also they have to empower people on how they work kanang continuously, and how they work in the workplace kanang malipayon sila nga nagbuhat. So they need to empower them. That is very important. All right. So of course, we want to listen to them. Where we need to have an open-minded of they have or any suggestion, we need to accept it. Yes, and not just dili ta marawat kay kita tag-iya like that. So we need to have an open-minded. And the next one we have here, it's promoting zero investment improvements and focus on efforts rather than results in Kaizen evaluation and performance appraisal. So of course we need to have an appraisal, like we give them incentives if they get the highest sales, or let's say I guess that's an award or reward rather. So if they get the highest sales on that day, so they will receive like 100 pesos or more. So it depends upon on your kanang sabutan diha. So that's it. Thank you so much.
So let's discuss the definitions of Kaizen. First, a selection of better means or a better method for achieving an objective. Second, an accumulation of small changes. Third, a corrective actions under constraint. So, Kaizen's techniques. So, Kaizen's techniques consist of the following steps. First, identifying the problem. Second is examine the problem. The third one, finding ideas to solve the problem. The fourth one, developing selected proposal. And the last one is implement the proposal. So, mura gyapon ni siya research na you have to find the problem na anong nag-cause man na siya, ano na himo man siya problema. And then the second one is you have to examine na unsay kanang unsay mga nahitabo nga himo na siya problema. And then after that, after mo siya examine tanan-tanan ang problem, is you have to find an ideas or kanang unsay better way na ma-solve na ang problem. And then after that, after mo na maka give of ideas or nakag unsay solution ana, is you have to apply and you have to apply that. And after that is dapat imo gyapon siya, dapat ma-develop siya, like for example sa kanang sales, kanang na problema ang sa store is na problema siya sa sales. So dapat kanang imo siya examine na kanang ano day na cause man siya nganong hinay ilang sales. After that, imo na siyang kanang pangitaon no gay kanang mangita kag ideas na unsa magi best way na makasolve ani sa iyang sa problem sa sales. And after that, imo siya i-apply, and you should kanang kuan ba na ma-develop siya na makitan bitaw nimo kung nabay ni increase ba siya sa like kanang katong since imo man siyang i-apply to imong katong ideas na makasolve sa problem, is imo sa siyang kana i-monitor kung kanang ni increase ba nilindot ba ang ilang sales. After that, you have to implement na kanang imo na siya i-compare before and after ba na kanang na ni kuan ba gyud imong ideas na or katong gipait itong solution na ni kuan ba gyud siya kanang ni nabigi siya good impact kanang nindot pag benefits tong imong gihatag na solution or kanang ideas para anang na problem. Multiple Kaizen's ideas. For example, condition na problem. As you can see in the picture is makakita na gyud ka kanang problem, diba? Like this one kanang ang man is kanang dili niya ma-reach ang toolbox is because naka-place ang toolbox sa taas. So dili niya maabot. The second one is dili sa niya maabot, it's because gamay siya na tao. So dili gid niya maabot ang toolbox. So nag-cause na gid siya o problem, makita na gid nato siya. So the interaction between man and toolbox generates a problem na gid, di ba? So toolbox and man, problem does not exist. So the problem is toolbox and man. From the man's standpoint, cannot reach is use siya og foot stool. And from the toolbox standpoint, place it at the lower shelf para maabot na niya. So, we already found the solution. So, since putot man ang man, so mo use siya og footstool para maabot niya ang toolbox. And the second one, since ang toolbox is nakabutang siya sa taas, you have to place it in the lower shelf para in case na kanang, for example, kanang na siya na kanang tao kanang putot, so kanang maglisod magyudog kanang kuha na sa taas, so dapat imo siya ibutang sa ubos kay in case na putot na tao ang mukuha, at least maabot na niya is because nakabutang na siya sa lower shelves. So Miss Mixel Olivia will continue another problem in the Kaizen's ideas.
So in continuation of the Kaizen ideas, another example of a problem here is a man who broke a cup at a sink. So for the interaction, here are the variables of the problem: the cup, the sink, the man, and the way of washing or the method of how he washed the cup. For the components and variables, we have cup, man, the method, and the sink. For its nature, the cup is easily to break. The man is careless. The method is that easy to slip. Maybe the man washed the cup carelessly, that's why it slipped. Then the sink, it's a solid surface. And for the solution, for the cup, from the material of the cup, we can change it into plastic. Then the man, we can put caution and be careful in washing it. For the method, wear rubber gloves so that it won't slip while washing the cup. And for the sink, for the solution, you place rubber mat. And when we apply the cause and effect diagram for the quality problem, which was a broken, the cup was broke, the broken cup. So the variables and the components are here. It was divided. Why the problem occur is because of this: the method of washing the cup, the man who was washing the cup, and the sink, the place where the man washes the cup, and the cup, the material that is involved, why the problem occur. So for the cup, it's breakable material and it's weak against heat. For the method, so the man washes it carelessly, and the man just uses his hands in washing it, then wash together. And for the man, yes, the way he washes it quickly. For the sink, it's hard bottom and it is deep. So that is why when kung maghugas na ta sa cup, then mahulog siya kay nadalipsa na siya, mabuak yun siya. Especially hard surface pa jud. Dili siya made of rubber or plastic. So using the fishbone or the cause and effect diagram, we can identify what are the causes why this problem occur. So gitagsa-tagsa na siya, and then pag-divide ana into many, you can have more than 4 components or variables. Depende sa pila unsa inyo ma-come up sa inyong pag-brainstorming. And then inyo pag yun ang identify nga no man unsay problema sa method, unsay problema sa tao, nganong inaana man, ano naka-contribute siya sa problem. And then in Kaizen, we have here Kaizen steps. So sa Kaizen, you can eliminate, then you can reduce, and then change. For the elimination, so maybe there are ways or methods before nga tan-aw ninyo nga naka-contribute siya o problem sa usa ka establishment. So you can do abolition. So stop jud na siya, i-end jud na siya. And then i-discontinue. If it's no longer helpful, then nga ipadayon pa man siya. So stop na lang na siya nga procedure. Maybe i-change siya lang siya og lain. So dili na siya i-continue. Exclusion. So, instead nga part na siya ani nga step, ayaw la lang. Iadto na lang siya sa lain. Dili na lang siya i-include, but i-exclude na nimo siya. Or, simply remove it. Removal. Eliminate part na siya sa ways on how to eliminate. Para makakuan ta og better or makasolve ta sa problem. And then, there's also reduction or to reduce. So, simplification, centralization, belong na siya ani. Synchronization, so magkaihiusa na lang, nga ipa-standardize. Kung unsa inyong mga changes, kung unsa inyong mga kanang nahabilin na lang methods or solution nga gipa-impose. Management for exceptions, integration, and combination. And for the changes, so you can have alternation. So like sa katong cup, instead nga kanang nag-use to sila og kuan, nag-use sila og glass. So why not mangita tag laing material para ato, para mas safer siya, so plastic na lang. Exchange, mo to no. Conversion or changes, same ra na siya. Diversification, o you can diversify kanang magkuan ka og lain nga mga options nga same ra siya. Then separation. For the different styles of changes sa Kaizen, so natay gitawag og small change. Diba? Since Kaizen is continuous raman gud siya, bahala ginagmay ang imong na-implement nga changes, imuhang na-propose nga solution, so long as kanang bahala ginagmay siya, nakatabang siya, then kanunay lang sad siya, continuous. By individual effort, a better way of proceeding a job is considered. No idea creation. So dapat mo ni siya sa Kaizen, there should be involvement of everyone. Kung nagani usa nila nga dili pabor, so dili jud na siya mo work ang Kaizen. So much better kung ang inyong head jud ang mo implement, then siya sad open sad siya nga maminaw sa ubos. Dili kay feel niya siya ra jud ang boss, dili na siya maminaw sa mga tao sa iyahang nga nag-work para niya or nakauban niya nga ni work. Dapat teamwork yun siya. Mo consider siya sa effort nila nga para ma-change, makasolve sa problem, and kanang magkahiusa na tanan, so magka-idea na everyone will contribute kanang help para ma-change o ma-solve ang problem. Next is medium change. Muna ni siya small group activities. Group effort. So mas nindot ni siya no kung nanagi group effort. So kung acceptable kanang dawaton lang jud ang individual effort sa matag usa, so maka-create na ta og group effort ana. A better way is proposed by following predetermined steps or rules. So kung nanay rules nga ikuan ang inyong management, then kamo jud tanan is magahiusa para pag-follow ana, mas maayo. And then the big change or innovation, mauna ni siya no, maka-invest na gyud si tag-iya ani. But in Kaizen man god, wala gyud siya gikuan nga mugasto jud aron masolusyonan ang problema. Mo na siya nga ginagmay lang gyud, continuous lang gyud. But for this part ni siya, kay there are three styles sa man of changes. So kung gusto na jud mo ani maabot na jud ni sa time ang big changes and innovation, mo na ni nga time nga nag-use na sila og investments, ni kuan na sila into new technology or equipment para lang jud masolusyonan nga problem. Maybe kana nga problem is dako na gyud kay tanan. Kinahanglan na gyud siya gastuan. And the 10 basic rules for practicing Kaizen. So first, prepare people to accept change for the betterment. So mao ni siya pasabton jud tanan. Kay kung naay dili kasabot, dili willing nga naay changes mahitabo, so dili jud na kanang makuha ng Kaizen, dili siya ma-follow, dili walay mahitabo nga changes. So dapat everyone should be involved ug mo-participate sila. So pasabton jud. Think of how you can do it and not why it can't be done. So dili ka mangutana, dili ka mag-think sa what if dili jud ni na tumabuhat, dili. Magunahon jud ka nga unsa man mo show jud ka willingness or mo think positive jud ka nga hala unsa man jud atong buhaton para ma-solve na. Dili ka maghunahuna sa opposite nga kung na nag-implement nga propose nga solution mo ana ka nga ngiyo but if dili na siya effective. No, so willing jud ka dapat nga i-try. No, do not make excuses for the third basic rule. Dili ka magbuhat og excuses. Start by questioning current practices. Huna-huna ka magkuan na ka sa current practices. Effective ba ni siya? May pa ba ning ipadayon? Fourth is do not seek perfection. So, sa Kaizen, it's more on kanang effort than the results. So, mas maayo nga naglihok mo, bahala ginagmay, then manam-anaman doon na siya og kanang katigom kay continuous improvement man ni siya until makakita din ka sa epekto na niya. So, do it even if only for 50% of the target. No? Wala jud nagkuan nga perfect jud. Totally jud nga makuan ninyo for Kaizen. So, correct mistakes at once. For the sixth one, do not spend money for Kaizen. So, muna kong ingon ganiha, dili jud kinahanglan nga mag-invest og dakong kantidad. Maybe for big changes na gyud to siya. For the seventh rule, wisdom is brought out when faced with hardship. And then, ask why 5 times and seek out root causes. So, mo to pinaagi sa Kaizen sa inyong pag-brainstorming. You should ask why 5 times para sure jud og kanang wala jud mo nalimtan nga possible nga cause nga nung occur ni nga problem. Seek the wisdom of 10 people rather than the knowledge of one. So mo ni siya nga kinahanglan jud na ay teamwork na adjud jay brainstorming nga ma-involved. And lastly, Kaizen ideas are infinite. So unending siya, continuous siya. So kung naay mo gi-implement ka solusyon, kinahanglan na asad mo i-propose for continuation sa iyahang kanang kalambuan ba. Dili lang kay nag-solution mo karon naghatag mo solution karon and then it will stop there. No, kinahanglan padayon yun siya. And lastly, there are more comments on Kaizen. So, Kaizen is a system of accumulated improvement. The main purpose of Kaizen is to involve total employee participation. So, mauna to kung gingon ganina, kung naiusa nga dili siya willing mo commit, naiusa nga mo opposite siya, dili siya willing sa inyong nasabutan nga solusyon, so dili jud na siya mo work. And it also helps in building capable workforce for an organization. The results of Kaizen are not very drastic. Dili jud kay siya ingon nga dako jud kaay siya. But incremental, that's why continuous improvement leads to accumulated improvement. So mas nindot man ang ginagmay basta kanunay. Kaizen is a process-oriented thinking and not result-oriented thinking. So mas ning focus siya sa how you do it, sa effort. Mano to kung gayon ganiha. Process-oriented thinking siya. So, kung may nguntag process-oriented, So nabilong na nadira ang self-discipline, especially sa mga tao. Then naadyo na siya changes sa time management, skill management, participation and involvement, communication, and sa moral. So naa din ha ang mga changes. Then for the result-oriented, so moingon na ganang wala ko'y labot giunsa ninyo or dili na kaayo mag-care kung how did you do it, basta kay naalay resulta. Wala, dili inana ang focus sa Kaizen but more on the process. And that's the end of our report. Thank you.